I was also told this about Aaron Rodgers. Now, once again, I'm going to say this as it was a conversation, not a report. It was conversation because I'm saying, so what's Aaron Rodgers waiting for? And I was told by a source, now this is just his thought on this, and that is he doesn't want a situation like what happened in Atlanta with Michael Penix Jr. So Kirk Cousins, they sign him, he's ready to go, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute here. Rodgers, I think, wants to play 2 years. If he's going to play, wants to play 2 years. You don't want to go into a situation. Now, once again, this is just a source and his thoughts on this, that Rodgers doesn't want to sign with Pittsburgh and then Pittsburgh takes a quarterback in the first round, whether that's Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders. Because Rodgers, this happened to him in Green Bay with Jordan Love. He's thinking he's getting a wide receiver. All of a sudden, he's getting another quarterback. And I think, granted, at Rodgers' age, he has no real power in this situation where, hey, I'll sign, but you can't take a quarterback in the first round. And once again, this is just conversation that I had on Saturday. Whether it's true or not, whether it comes to fruition, because we're all wondering, what's Rodgers waiting for? And the only thing I can think of, and I've said this for weeks, is he would wait until after the draft. At first I thought, hey, he's going there, he's interviewing, he's spending 6-8 hours, and okay. I think that's more of a, I want to come in, I want to see everybody, I want to talk to everybody, I want to see what you do in the draft. Now, once again, this is not a report, it's just reading into this and trying to figure out what is the storyline here. What's the logic? And I try not to use that with Aaron Rodgers. Like, what's the logic here? But if you say, all right, now I know what I have here, who I have here. I've spoken to the coach. I've spoken to the GM, spoken to ownership here. All right, now let me see what you do in the draft. Because if I'm Aaron Rodgers, are you getting somebody who's going to help me if I'm your quarterback? Are you going to draft my replacement and I'm not even there to be replaced yet? And I think what happened to Kirk Cousins in Atlanta is something that Aaron Rodgers is probably at least aware of. Yeah, Pauline.
But it seems counterintuitive based off what you're saying there. If Aaron Rodgers tells the Steelers, I don't know what I'm doing, they have to look at a quarterback with the 21st pick of the draft. If somehow he agreed to terms with them today, he could say, well, we're going to support the offense with the 21st pick, correct? And he would have some type of...
Yeah, but he had power in Green Bay, and they took his replacement.
Yeah.
This is different. I think he's just saying, if I'm going to play, I'm going to play for you guys. But I want to make sure that if you're drafting a quarterback, then maybe I'll just retire. I think he's still holding out hope of whatever happens in training camp, first couple of weeks of the season. Can I come in and lead the team to the promised land? Can I come in? Let's just say the Rams, something happens to Matthew Stafford, because that's a playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber team. Then all of a sudden I can just come to the rescue, because we're all trying to figure out what is happening, what's logical to happen in this situation. And that was the only thing that I could come up with Aaron is I'm waiting until after the draft, and he probably wants to wait as long as he can because maybe Pittsburgh isn't the ideal place for him. But he's run out of options. It's like, who would have thought that Bill Belichick wouldn't have an option to coach again? And what did I say to you on this show? He will not coach in the NFL again. Whether that's true or not, he went to college, and nobody thought he was going to go to college. I didn't think he was going to college, but I didn't think he was going to be welcomed back to the NFL because that's not the way the NFL is now. Here you go, Bill. Do whatever you want.